Brace yourselves because the U.S. China trade war just kicked into overdrive, and it's about to hit your wallet harder than you think. New reports reveal secret talks, ignored warnings, and a high-stakes standoff between President Trump and China's Xi Jinping. Will this economic tug-of-war crash the global economy, or is there a way out? Stay with me as we unpack the shocking details you need to know right now. Welcome back to Focal Point, where we cut through the noise to bring you the truth behind the headlines. I'm your name, and today we're diving deep into the escalating trade war between the United States and China. This isn't just about tariffs or politics. It's about you. Higher prices, shaken markets, and a global economy on edge. Let's break it all down, step by step, with exclusive insights you won't find anywhere else. Just hours ago, bombshell reporting hit the wires. The Trump administration held secret negotiations with Chinese officials, pleading with them not to slap retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods. But guess what? China didn't listen. Instead, they cranked their tariffs up to a jaw-dropping 125%, signaling they're ready to go toe-to-toe with the U.S.'s own 145% tariffs. This is no longer a trade skirmish. It's a full-blown economic showdown between the world's two biggest economies. Why should you care? Because this isn't just about shipping containers or Wall Street. Experts at Yale's Budget Lab estimate these tariffs could cost the average American household $4,700 a year. That's about $400 extra every single month. From your groceries to your gadgets, prices are about to climb, and consumer confidence is already tanking. So what's driving this chaos and who's going to blink first? Let's get into it. Here's where things get juicy. Sources reveal that the Trump administration, led by Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, has been working overtime to cool tensions. They've been quietly urging China not to retaliate, warning that escalating tariffs could spiral out of control. Publicly, Benson's been vocal, telling countries worldwide to avoid tit-for-tat trade moves. But behind closed doors, the message was even more direct. Don't do this, or we're all in trouble. China, however, called their bluff. Not only did they ignore the warnings, but they also refused to pick up the phone. Literally. The White House has been pushing for a call between President Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping to de-escalate. But there's a catch. Trump insists Xi should make the first move. That's right. While the global economy hangs in the balance, we're witnessing a diplomatic game of who calls who first. It's almost like high school drama, except the stakes are billions of dollars and millions of livelihoods. Now let's zoom into the White House, where things are anything but calm. President Trump recently hit pause on his sweeping tariff plan, a move that briefly sent markets soaring. But that relief didn't last. The Dow's been swinging wildly, up 650 points one moment, down the next. The bond market's shaky, and consumer sentiment, it's at its second lowest level since 1952, according to the Michigan survey. That's not just a number, it's a warning sign that people are scared to spend. Inside Trump's inner circle, there's a tug-of-war of ideas. On one side, you've got Scott Bessent, a Wall Street veteran pushing for caution. He knows tariffs could tank the economy if they go too far. On the other side is Peter Navarro, a hardline tariff supporter who believes tough trade policies are the only way to bring manufacturing back to America. Then there's Kevin Hassett, another key advisor, trying to balance the two. Trump's listening to all of them, but this week he sided with Bessent, pulling back on tariffs, at least for now. The question is, who's going to win this economic showdown within the administration? With a 3-month pause on the tariff plan, Trump's got 90 countries to negotiate with, and the clock is ticking. Rising inflation, reported just this week, is already a massive headache for the White House. If prices keep climbing, voters are going to feel it, and fast. Let's shift gears to China. President Xi Jinping isn't backing down, but he's not going all in either. By setting tariffs at 125%, slightly below the U.S.'s 145%, Xi's sending a message. We're serious, but we're not reckless. Some experts see this as an olive branch, a sign China's open to talks. Others think it's a calculated move to avoid looking weak at home. After all, Chinese leaders face their own pressures. with a long history of resisting Western influence. Xi can't afford to look like he's caving to Trump's demands. Meanwhile, the rest of the world is watching and acting. The European Union, for example, is cozying up to China. The Spanish Prime Minister was just in Beijing, and the EU's signaling it might pivot to other markets like Brazil or ASEAN countries to dodge U.S. tariffs. This could reshape global trade, leaving the U.S. more isolated. Everyone's trying to reduce reliance on each other. But here's the kicker. Certain goods like electronics and rare earth minerals are almost exclusively from China. Substituting those? Good luck. Now let's talk about you. The Yale Budget Lab's $4,700 estimate assumes you keep buying the same goods. But what happens when you can't? Retailers are already warning that holiday shopping could take a hit. The Christmas Tree Association, yes, even them, says finding substitutes for Chinese-made goods is nearly impossible. From toys to tech, so much of what we buy comes from China, and tariffs mean those costs get passed straight to you. Consumer sentiment is plummeting because people aren't just worried, they're bracing for impact. When surveys like Michigan's show numbers this bad, it's only a matter of time before spending slows. Less spending means businesses struggle, jobs get cut, and the economy grinds down. History shows these soft sentiment numbers often turn into hard economic pain. Unless something changes fast, we're staring down a rough road. So where do we go from here? The White House is banking on China blinking first, but Xi's playing a long game. Trump's pause on tariffs buys time, but with inflation rising and markets jittery, that time's running out. The U.S. wants China to request a call, but China's waiting for Trump to budge. It's a standoff, and neither side wants to look weak. Could the EU or other global players tip the scales? Possibly. If Europe strikes deals with China, it could weaken U.S. leverage. But for now, the focus is on Trump and Xi. Will they pick up the phone? Will tariffs climb higher? Or is there a deal to be made that saves face for both sides? One thing's clear. This trade war isn't just about economics. It's personal. Trump's called Xi a friend in the past, but right now they're not talking. And with every day that passes, the cost for all of us keeps climbing. That's the latest on the U.S. China trade war. But this story's far from over. What do you think? Will Trump and Xi find a way out? Or are we headed for economic chaos? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep this conversation going. If you found this breakdown helpful, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. We're here to keep you in the know, no matter how wild the headlines get. Until next time, stay informed, and we'll see you soon.